Welcome to Trivia Club.
Hey there, boy and or girl. Welcome to Deep Thoughts on SNL, an SNL review and discussion podcast. My name is Rob Moden. I'm your host. And this is the podcast spinoff of the Toronto Trivia Club and its SNL Fantasy League, which is basically, long story short, a sports fantasy league, but instead we draft and score the performance of SNL cast members. And so we're here today to talk about Season 39, Episode 19, aired May 3rd, 2014. Host Andrew Garfield, musical guest Coldplay. We enjoyed the episode. We thought it was pretty fun. So the sketch list is as follows. First of all, Coldplay performed Magic and A Sky Full of Stars. The cold open was Donald Sterling talking to the press, a monologue where Emma Stone appeared to give advice to Andrew Garfield, ad parody for Stanks, Family Feud Celebrity Edition for musicians, Oliver Twist and Deidre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Deidre? I didn't catch the name of Cecily Strong's character. A pre-taped bit called The Bagency, already going viral as I record this. Weekend Update with Kate McKinnon recurring as Olya. Leslie Jones, writer for the show, performing a bit of a stand-up routine. And Taron Killam returning as Jebediah Atkinson to review Tony-nominated plays. Then there was The Spider-Man Kiss, again featuring Emma Stone, not Emma Thompson, and I'm mistaking British people for each other apparently. And Coldplay's Chris Martin, the Wedding Toast sketch, and then a repeat of Bird Bible. And then in the news segment, we'll be talking about the new host announcements to finish out the season, the 40th anniversary special that has been announced for February 2015, Craig Ferguson leaving, The Late Late Show, and more. So, today on the show we have Brian and Leah, who are here. If you want to follow Deep Thoughts on Twitter, you can go to @DeepThoughtsSNL. We use that to basically share SNL-related news for current and past cast members, mostly. Also some writers. And if you're listening to SoundCloud, you can subscribe to us on iTunes now. It's easier. You should be doing that. I don't understand why you're not. It was cool to avoid iTunes years ago, but now you kind of have to. It's time to buckle up. Grow up. Get iTunes. But yeah, you can subscribe to the Trivia Club network of podcasts. We're on there. There's also the Trivia Club Prime podcast and more coming soon. And you can also check out triviaclub.blogspot.com, which is where Russell Harder, our Trivia Club godfather, writes the official write-ups for the Fantasy League, including the official point tallies. I just do an unofficial one, so basically I have no credibility whatsoever. And then music. The music that you hear right now underneath what I'm saying is done by my friend Philip Kanaka. So thank him for that. And without much further ado, I believe that's it. So let's go now to our discussion of Andrew Garfield and Coldplay.
And now, Deep Thoughts.
Should we start?
Sure.
Okay. What did everybody think? What's the first sketch we should talk about?
Let's go with your favorite sketch of the night.
My favorite.
Well, everyone just picks their favorite, and we'll start from there.
Oh, I think everybody's favorite was Bagency.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
So
right?
great.
Fun little tidbit. One of the writers for it, I follow him on Twitter. He said that him and his writing partner, the guy who filmed it, directed it, filmed it all in one day, and the guy edited it in one day. Like these guys are incredible. I don't know how they do it. Yeah, they turned that.
Who was it? Was that Matt and Oz?
No, it was Chris. The writers. It was Chris. I'm totally blanking his name now. Schleicher or something like that.
Because I saw plenty of people on Twitter were very impressed with the production values and stuff. It looked more expensive than it was.
Let me just pull it up here.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive.
But just as somebody who's like gotten into arguments on Facebook where I'm just like, I don't understand how much hype there is for this. I don't understand why everyone loves her this much and seems like they're going to murder me.
Can I make a confession right now?
Go for it.
I have not heard a single song from this evidently mind-blowing new album that she has released. I have not heard a single thing from it.
I was going to say I don't know a single Beyonce song.
Beyonce?
But I actually
or how to say her name.
I do have Crazy Love on my iPod.
I will say that I haven't heard the album, and so I kind of that was probably a point against me for at the time. It's like, why is everyone going insane? But I feel like it's existed for a few years.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, but to the sketch
itself,
itself,
do you think maybe
fantastic.
we're the only 3 people who haven't listened to this album in the world?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
I was going to say it might have been a generational thing, but then Rob's like 12.
I'll edit in the album underneath this entire talk so that once we're listening back, we'll actually get it in our heads. It was great. It was good.
Oh, God.
I loved the 24 little cameo.
Yes.
That, surprised the hell out of me. I was like, oh my god!
It makes total sense because the show's coming back on Monday. It's a nice little promotional push. Mm-hmm. But I did not see that coming at all.
And when they turn to each other and they're like, her only good song, and they're immediately sniped through the head with a little blood spurt. It's pretty great. I loved Kate McKinnon's little character at the end as well. Mm-hmm. That was such a perfect... I don't know. It hit all the bits of the beats of a good horror trailer, but it completely fit in perfectly with the reality of people who were obsessed with Beyonce.
The line, I didn't dance to Crazy Love, that just killed me.
Oh, I just rewatched it while I was doing the point tally, and just I didn't dance with she flails her arms and crosses her eyes. It was great.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, turn around, all around.
I feel like this entire episode, we're just. I feel like we're all generally on the same page. It was fun, but kind of forgettable.
I wish, someone, I think it was Entertainment Weekly said, Garfield was it seemed like a game, fun host. There's just too bad they didn't give him more to do, which I agree with. It felt like
I thought it was really short, and I thought the Weekend Update was extremely long. Was that just me?
Well, I think that's the first time in a few months that we've had 3 people.
Yeah.
That's the difference. But yeah, I did the sketch count, and even if they had kept the Good Neighbor sketch that went to the web, they would have been 1 or 2 shorter than a usual episode.
So why did they cut the Good Neighbor sketch?
They said it was for time.
Bennett has tweeted that it was for time, yeah.
But what about so why show the bird thing over?
The bird thing was shorter.
Yeah.
The Good Neighbor sketch was 3.5 minutes. I think Bird Bible is 2 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that I felt like with this episode that it seemed like they got into a lot of sketches and then didn't know where to go with them. And then it was just kind of and then they would have a really funny last line to end it on, but it was they did all this filler stuff in the middle of these sketches. It was.
Are you talking about, say, the Oliver Twist sketch? Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Somebody compared it, AV Club, their review today, compared that character to Molly Shannon's I'm 50 character, where she's just kind of saying outlandish things and everyone else is a straight man. Nobody else has a funny line whatsoever. Except at the very beginning. But I'm a pussy.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I thought that, because it was funny when she first came out, and then I was like, okay, where is this going? And then, the mean... Bobby Moynihan, his character completely changed and he became nice all of a sudden. I was like, what's going on here? This doesn't make any sense.
I've been, any time in my life that I've ever referenced that Oliver Twist bit, the infamous, more, I realize in retrospect, I've probably been imagining Bobby Moynihan as that character. It seems so perfectly him.
Yeah, when I was watching that, I was like, did he play this in the movie?
Yeah.
That was shot 60 years ago?
The writer for the agency sketch was Chris Kelly. Kelly and Sarah Schneider. And he says...
Schneider. That makes sense.
Yep.
Schneider, I think the way I said Schneider made it sound like I was putting her down. But no, she came from College Humor. It kind of seems like up their alley.
Yeah, they've done a whole bunch of things we've loved a lot, I've noticed. He's written, hey, this is a sketch we did. It's oh my god, it was so good. I think I've tweeted to him a couple times. That was my favorite sketch.
Yep. Chris Kelly and Sarah Schneider's names come up a lot. They're pretty good writers. Pretty great. I tried to settle somewhere between good and great. I don't know. I think I said good.
They co-wrote with Adie and Kate the Dyke and Fats, if I remember correctly. Oh,
okay. Yeah, that interview came out. I can't remember it though. That Kate McKinnon talked about the origin of it with pictures. So if any listener is interested in Dyke and Fats, and why wouldn't you be? Go check it out.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I don't know. Any other sketches you were talking about, Leah, where it just kind of meandered?
I felt like all of them did. The Family Feud one, which I normally enjoy those. I think
that was entirely built about Andrew Garfield came in with the Timberlake impression, which was great. Except
I liked it.
There was one or two touches where, like, when he touched his mouth with his thumb, I feel like that's more of a Bieber thing, but otherwise it was spot on.
It reminded me
in the olden days when Justin first came out, not to nitpick.
Yeah, but he's playing 2014 Justin.
Was he playing 2014 Justin?
I think so.
It reminded me of Justin Timberlake playing Jimmy Fallon from that last Celebrity Food.
Oh, absolutely.
That was the impression. Like, he was doing that impression. It was weird. It was a weird impression of a guy doing an impression.
Oh, no, I understand what you're saying. But I think that was Garfield. I mean, that was like the second sketch in. I think he was already a little nervous. He was like pacing in place when Kenan Thompson's Steve Harvey started talking to him.
Yeah.
A little more nervous than in Timberlake, but yeah.
By the end, he was like, when he was like grooving around, like, dipping back and forth.
Popping up in front of the camera.
Yeah, he's into it now. This is good. He's relaxed. Was it, by the way, in that sketch, was it Noelle as Reba?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
She actually did a really good Reba voice.
Absolutely. At first, I keep mistaking
you just cannot tell women apart, can you? Like, women all look the same.
I wrote, Kate as Reba, and then Kate shows up as Shakira. I go, no, wait, then who the hell was that?
I don't understand how you can get Kate and Noelle mixed up.
Don't know how you don't.
I don't know.
The most impressive thing in the universe, your complete inability to recognize.
Hey, I recognize 80 as Adele, which was fantastic.
By the way, Shakira and Adele were both recurring, so that's recurring points right there.
That's good.
I had to look a bunch of these up. Dennis Rodman in the opening was recurring as well.
What do we think of Pharaoh as Drake, since we've had Drake on the show?
I thought he did. It was okay.
Yeah, it was fine. I was more interested in the mini trend just within this one sketch of people impersonating hosts from this own season.
Yeah.
Timberlake, Drake.
I'll give Kenan my only props from this episode. The line, "Canada's just French for Chicago."
I did.
That generally made me laugh.
Kenan had a good run tonight. I liked him more than I've liked him generally.
I really liked him in the wedding.
Well, do you have to say that? We know you liked him in sketches.
But it was so funny, right?
What else was he in? He was in... the opening. He was great in the opening.
I didn't think he was great in the opening.
What?
I didn't really care for the opening.
The one time he doesn't yell, and Leah is against it.
Yeah.
Just
I'm
like,
gonna
guys...
need you to yell a little bit more.
I mean, it's $10 million. Come on, I mean...
But it just went on a little too long. I was like... Okay.
It was Sideshow Bob Rake territory. It was going on long enough to make it funny again.
I didn't quite get... Maybe it's because I haven't heard Sterling... Like, I haven't seen Sterling talk much, but Bobby's impression surprised me in a way. Wasn't what I was expecting Sterling to sound like.
It's it's a certain, like, archetype. Like a California old man Jewish person, I think.
Yeah. I couldn't put my finger on it. It was like, I don't know if I liked this or not. Like, I liked it overall, but I didn't like the impression much. But again, I didn't know Sterling's voice or mannerism much, so I still could say, well, that's off, or no, that's spot on. I didn't know, so I mean, I couldn't really judge. I just thought it was weird.
Which is weird, because I agree, but clearly both of us have not listened to this tape that everyone's talking about.
I heard,
it's literally his own voice. But I don't know if that's accurate to Donald Sterling's voice, because I clearly forgot what Donald Sterling sounds like since listening to that tape. But I thought it worked once Bobby started doing it. Because it was a quick way to get across what kind of character they had turned Donald Sterling into.
And Jay Farrow as Dennis Rodman, the impression was great, and the what he did as the character was great. I thought it was fantastic all around there.
Mm-hmm. The AV Club made a point, and I kind of agree, that they kind of went a little too obvious with the jokes. Yeah. I think the black eye, which is the worst kind of eye, was maybe the most clever they got, which isn't very clever.
I really liked Sashir's little character in that. I thought that was great.
I can't remember anything she said, though.
Well, she's saying, like, everyone thinks I'm a sellout, everyone thinks I'm a traitor, but hey, I got to sleep with that. Like, she's working for her money.
Yeah. Live, I did miss the very opening with Taron Killam as... Adam Silver, I think is the real person's name. Yeah. Anyway. But I liked his little things about, like, being high-fived by more black people in his life than ever before, and learning a lot of really neat handshakes.
That was solid. What else was there? Oh, the opening, like the monologue. I thought the monologue was cute. Of course, you're not surprised to see Emma brought out there.
Yeah. Oh, we all love Emma Stone.
Yeah.
They named the stage after her, for Pete's sake.
They did.
Those promos were delightful. Should we talk about those for a second?
Sure, absolutely.
They were fantastic. Bobby Moynihan's best work all year, I think.
I agree.
The Comedy Doctor. It was when I was going back and trying to figure out how to present it in a tweet as Deep Thoughts, he actually went to I'm going to teach you how to say this properly multiple times as Comedy Doctor, and then as do it super dramatically. But in both cases, it was really funny.
When he affected
and
the
as a
American
dog.
accent.
As a dog.
Yep. The American accent, that was really good. The comedy glasses and all that jazz.
Mm-hmm. It actually made me a little disappointed when the Garfield Coldplay promos came out, and there was only like 2 of them.
Yeah. I want to send more. I agree.
I wanted more.
I liked it. I liked he was like, I wrote in my notes, he's adorably excited to be there. It's really cute. He's really genuinely excited.
I don't know if that fully translated to the show.
Like, if he had more to do, I think it would have.
I hope he comes back again, because I feel like a second time he's going to be much more in his comfort zone.
I agree. Yeah, you could see it again at if you want to jump to the end credits, the good nights. Like, they had a really long good night, like the longest I've ever seen them do.
Oh, to make up for whatever time was the difference between Wing and Bird Bible.
But the amount of he just seemed really giddy and enthusiastic. Like when he was doing his hugs and he hugged Chris Martin and they were like going in for another fake kiss and they just forgot the giggles and it was really cute to see. I liked that. They had fun. He had fun. He was good. I liked him.
I liked him.
Oh,
I really enjoyed him in all of this. I just thought the sketches weren't. Great.
There was nothing bad for sketches overall. I thought just like you said, they were kind of filler a lot until the ending, which is usually good.
But then they cut the ending. But sorry, you mean not of the show, of each sketch. Okay. Sketch.
But back to the monologue, when 80 came out and she mentions, yes, here we are, the 3 stars of Spider-Man right here.
Was she actually in Spider-Man?
Or they showed the little clip. That's actually apparently from Spider-Man 2.
Okay, but I didn't know if they went and just filmed that. Or if she was actually... Okay, so she is actually in Spider-Man.
She's actually in it. And I recognized her instantly when she has one line in it. But he was like, 80, nice. I was hoping for some more SNLs to be in there, but no, it was perfect. Yeah, the 3 stars of Spider-Man right here.
And then that she immediately takes important or she's higher on the totem pole than Andrew Garfield in terms of hosting expertise. And how to play the audience and all that.
Yeah. Oh, that was really cute. Yeah, they're giving tips and then I should do this. No.
It also got me a lot of 80 Bryant points for monologue, for appearing alongside Emma Stone.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Geez. Oh, I'm not going to do well, I don't think. Especially if we don't count Bird Bible as new points, I'm going to be upset.
I for now, it's part of the unofficial tally. We'll see what Russell decides.
Yeah.
It's weird that we're 20 episodes in and I'm still unsure of so does Spider-Man count as a film parody? Is Vagency a film parody or I don't know.
Yeah, there's a whole... We're 3-4 things we weren't sure what the point count should be for them. That's funny. Yeah, we're 20 episodes in and still figuring that out.
Next year.
The in-between season's going to be fun. Back and forth.
Yeah, we have to start brainstorming ideas for summer episodes.
What do we think... And I had this... I don't know why this popped in my head the other day. For a point, do we think it's too hard to figure out or too easy or whatnot if points for if your actor wears a wig in a scene? Would that be too hard to figure out sometimes?
Don't they always wear wigs?
In a way, it would be easy to do because it's if it's not their regular hairstyle, right?
Yeah.
I was kind of confused. Why was Andrew Garfield wearing so many wigs? Why didn't they just let him...
He shaved his head.
Okay.
But if he's playing
what's the
Spider-Man,
issue with that?
With the Spider-Man sketch, he has to have long hair.
But he had
that was
long
hilarious.
hair in every single sketch. He had a wig on in...
Oh, I didn't notice that.
In, like, every
I'm
single
sure you're right.
sketch.
I'm sure you're right.
And I was kind of wondering why he wasn't allowed to just have his head shaved. Like, I get, like, when you're Justin Timberlake, like, he had to, wear the wig or whatever. Didn't understand, like, in every other one, why he was wearing a wig.
I thought it was hilarious he was playing a wig to play himself.
Yeah.
He did shave halfway through the promotional tour for this movie, though, so I wonder if it had anything to do with SNL. Like, if his hair was particularly hard to put a wig on or something, and Lauren's like, no, you gotta shave it.
I think
that awkward length?
The most absurd theory you could come up with.
Well, to be fair, I think it's kind of weird that the star of a major blockbuster is hosting on the exact week that it's opening. That seems... Usually it's like the week before or the week after, right?
That doesn't surprise me. We didn't have a show the week before, did we? We didn't have one last weekend, did we?
No, but he could have hosted next week or something once the promotional tour is starting to die down. Because I know he hit Fallon, but I feel like shouldn't he have been in L.A. hitting those shows as well? And
no, it didn't surprise me at all. Especially if you're going to have Emma Stone on it, too. It's a good promotion.
Is somebody moving stuff around?
Maybe.
Okay. It's audible.
I was going to say... no, it didn't surprise me at this opening weekend at all.
Anyway. What other sketches do we have?
Surprisingly, I didn't think I would like it because it was a setup for a typical sketch I don't like, but the wedding toast.
I liked the wedding toast. I thought it was fun.
The wedding toast surprised me because it wasn't the same joke like the one we didn't like the last time with the where Cecily's character revealed that the Seth Rogen was gay over and over and over again.
Yeah.
This one they just kept amping up into a new horrible wrinkle.
I don't think they amped up as much as they could have, and actually, the audience really, really reacted to the reveal that Noah Wells was his wife of 6 years much more than I did. But I thought Andrew Garfield, that was maybe one of his best sketches, just
was
in terms
Noah
of
Wells?
he had the right energy.
That wasn't Noah Wells.
As his wife? Yeah.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was.
That was
or is it
Nassim. That was Nassim.
I'm gonna look this up now. You two talk.
You should look it up. Neither of you tell women apart?
I have an
it was
excuse.
Noel.
It was not Noel Wells.
I enjoyed
Brian, your opinion does.
I enjoyed
if anything, that's a detriment to the argument.
I enjoyed the reveal of the kids too. It was nice.
I loved the reveal of the kids.
The mortified look.
Yeah, I thought it was really clever that they kept, they were just kept revealing new things. They kept giving you more information about it.
At first, he's coming back as the best man. Then he's his cousin. Then it's his wife of 6 years. Then they have kids together. It was just one nice surprise. Like I said, it surprised me because it wasn't the one note joke just done over and over again. It was a new layer to it, which I appreciate.
Yeah, they were building on it.
And they called it a party foul. He wants a party foul. My bad.
Leah is right. It was Nassim.
Nassim been wearing the dress in the goodbyes. She was still in that outfit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I messed up. But here's a weird thing. Was Beck? Did he was the old man in that sketch? But did he have a line?
I don't think so.
He was just sitting next to Keenan the entire time in
old
costume.
man makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
remember him.
I think he might have said something. I do think he might have said something.
Well, this is the unofficial tally anyway.
Like when Keenan tells him to sit his ass down or whatever, which I loved. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. When he starts to come back up and he's like, boy, sit your ass down.
Small amounts of Keenan go a long way.
Yeah.
I agree.
Hey, we got Leah to agree on something negative about Keenan.
That wasn't negative.
That we should have less Keenan.
That was a constructive criticism.
Okay.
What do we think about the Stanks commercial?
Let's forget it happened.
It
wasn't awful, but it was like, oh, I see where this is going.
Yeah. I did like the special effects at the end. I thought that was nice.
Yeah. Once they revealed that it was more than just like, oh, it's blocking in odor, but like it actually gets bigger and bigger, then like physically it actually expands the ass.
Yeah.
But you could kind of see where it was going, and then it went another minute.
Yeah, that's true.
There are actual underwear that do that now.
I'm sure there are. For men, though?
I don't know that it's... Well, the picture's of a woman wearing it and a guy is sniffing her butt, so I don't know if it's for women or men.
What? Wait. What? Is this an advertisement?
The little
How did you find this? What literature are you reading?
It's on the interweb.
You can't just That's not an answer. That's like saying, it was in a magazine. No, you have to say where specifically it was.
I'm pretty sure I saw it on BuzzFeed. It was like Japanese inventions or something like that.
Okay. Now that actually makes complete sense. I totally believe you. Absolutely.
And
those Japanese. First they do Avril Lavigne. Now this.
Did you, quote unquote, accidentally click on the ad for it? Is that how it came
It was in an article.
An article.
I was expanding my brain grapes.
Reading BuzzFeed for the articles, huh?
Yeah.
So we still got Update to talk about.
So much to talk about.
I really liked Update.
Me too.
Wait, sorry. No, let me rephrase. I really liked the guests on Update.
Yep. There's a couple good jokes aside from just the guests, too.
I loved, ladies, leave your man at home. The club is full of wolves and it's very dangerous.
I loved how Olya Potlovsky, I think is her full name.
I just refer to her as Olya, yeah.
Cecil? Oh, really, Cecil?
See, every time she's on it too long. I just
McKinnon? McKinnon or Olya specifically?
Playing that Olya.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I like
I get a little tired of the joke because it's all the same joke, right? I don't know.
Well, obviously the show ran long at some point, so you might be right that they need to edit stuff down. I think Leslie Jones might have taken more time than they had slotted for her, but she was great.
Oh, I know, so good.
I was kind of like, I don't know exactly how I feel about what she's talking about.
But she won you over within like 30 seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I thought she was very charming and very funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like working for you white people now and you pay me. Just killed me. That was amazing.
I love like Kobe, LeBron, Kimbo Slice, Sinbad.
Every 9 months I'd be having a super baby.
It'd be great. She was pretty great. I love when they have a stand-up come up on the show as a writer. John Mulaney was the last one, right?
I think so, yeah. I know he did it a couple times.
Yeah, he did, he did I Love It, which seems to be the one that everyone kind of remembers for the catchphrase. But what was the one before that, which was much more, in the moment, it was much more popular? It
was ages ago in my brain for that.
Yeah.
No, but she's great. I hope she comes back. She can absolutely come back and do more update stuff.
And one more Jebediah Atkinson.
Oh, that surprised me, but it shouldn't have surprised me. As soon as they announced any sort of rewards thing, you should expect Jebediah.
Mm-hmm. Still funny to me.
Yep, absolutely.
I think online support is starting to wail.
I think it's just so strange how offended people get about the jokes he's making.
Oh, that's the best part.
It makes no sense. So we're talking about things that happened like 200 years ago, and he's, everyone's like, boo!
The best line for me was that the cats should have suffered a first active visit from feline AIDS.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
SNL and its feline AIDS. Wasn't that the line that killed Debbie Downer?
I think so, T.S.
Yep.
That or I can't have children.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the play that Lincoln was shot at? It killed in the balcony.
Everybody started, freaking out about it.
I know. And of course he turns on the audience, as he always does.
Mm-hmm. I think I think it's a two-way street where I think they come up with like a joke that they think will kind of get a tiny gasp, and then Jebediah overplays how bad the reaction is. And then I think the audience is kind of game to groan at stuff later on now that he's shown that he will positively react to them.
Yeah.
He's a villain, quote unquote, right? So, kids in those, pantomime shows will literally boo and hiss the villain when they come out. He plays into that, and they kind of play into it too, I think.
I think I said on Twitter that I literally have nightmares about him running out of material and running out of genres and mediums to review. I don't want it to ever end. But every time they bring him back, he reviews like the last 100 years of film, the last 100 years of theater.
Yeah.
Next will be music, I'm sure, but like he's just running out of stuff.
I could see him doing something for the Emmys too, just talking about TV shows in general. I mean, there's endless things he really could do. But yeah, you don't want him to bring him back every 3 weeks. You don't have him back. You want to have him like 2-3 times stops a season.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my 3 wishes. Make it stop.
And then, Colin Jost got maybe his first like really good reception
with the cheerleader. The cheerleader one, right?
That was great.
I thought that was really
that was the best reaction he's gotten.
Yeah,
I got a nice long laugh from the audience. That was great.
And unless we want to go back to Celebrity Family Feud to talk about the specific impressions, all that's left is the Spider-Man kiss.
The Spider-Man kiss. That was probably my second favorite.
I think actually the Beyonce thing is going to have like a big life this weekend and this week, but I think the Spider-Man kiss thing might be remembered long term in like SNL history kind of thing.
I don't know. I could see both.
No.
You don't think?
No.
You don't think
they both got a lot of attention on Twitter immediately afterwards. A lot of people were tweeting stills of the different kisses that they were doing.
Especially Chris Martin as Emma Stone. I feel like that imagery is going to last.
Maybe it's just
that
was really cute. Oh,
maybe
and Jay
just
Farrow.
the image.
Jay Farrow and his little...
Yeah.
so tickled to be walking through there every time.
Oh, his face was amazing.
Yeah.
It was Taron. It was Mark Webb, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
His increasing, like, just... These people are lunatics reaction to them.
He had a specific line. I can't remember what they had said to set him up, but he just said, everything that you're saying is actually worrying me right now.
Why you're whispering. My favorite of the kisses was either when he's, like, on her chin, like, basically holding her chin, or when they're passing air back and forth.
I just think that imagery of Chris Martin leaning into Andrew Garfield is going to be one of those maybe tiny short clips that will make up a decade retrospective in a future anniversary thing.
When without hesitation he asked for a wig and they immediately passed it, I'm like, oh, right now we got gold going.
Oh, you spidery man.
I actually really liked the variety that came up, and it was like Spider-Man 2 ends really weird.
That's a weird ending.
Yeah.
I did also like that he referred to Taron Killam as Mark, as in Mark Webb. I thought it was a nice little touch to add to that. This is the movie we're talking about, not just.
Yeah, I don't know why I was surprised by that, but that seemed like an interesting touch.
Yeah, it was a nice little touch. They didn't have to do, but they did. It was good.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know if it would be kind of weird with Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone. So they're basically playing themselves.
Yeah.
And they're just talking to a fake Mark Webb. This is probably the most mainstream attention Mark Webb has ever received by name.
I wonder how that was pitched to the two of them, Emma and Andrew, and saying, okay, so I want you to playing yourselves, doing this scene, and you're incapable of kissing like normal people, and you just come up with weird ways to kiss each other.
Oh, I'm sure they're clearly just a very goofy, adorable couple. So I'm sure just like, all right, what's the goofiest thing we can make them do together?
Love to see them like, okay, what if we did this? And what if we did this? Just practicing weird kisses. Like normal people. Yeah, normal people. And when they show, you kissed in the first one, right? And they show the clip from the first one where they kissed.
Oh, that was a great touch.
Who was the faces?
I think those were just extras that they hired on for that.
Oh, okay.
So good.
Like people who they just seem to go out and they must have had a casting call for, all right, so we need people who look just slightly like them but clearly are not them, and the entire joke is that you can clearly tell that they are not them.
But no one noticed until this moment.
Yep.
Like, I guess
including the director, who apparently just blocked out that, oh yeah, I guess we did bring people in that day.
Yeah, when I was watching that, I was like, did he not direct the first one? How does he not?
Oh, he had a throwaway line, just like, oh yeah, I guess I just kind of pushed that off in my mind.
Yeah, there was, and I got kind of confused because Andrew Garfield was doing like the British accent, and then he was going into the American accent, and it was actually confusing me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. And I was like, wait, why is his voice changing? What's happening?
It was a nice little nod to accuracy where he has to play American accent for the movie, so when they're filming, quote unquote, but then when he's out of character, he immediately switches back.
I understood why, but I was still kind of like...
let's back up. So, now, Leah, when it comes to different countries, people talk with different accents. Now, one person who is from one country may come to another country, but their voice doesn't change.
Unless they try to change it.
Speaking of which, actually, I just want to go back to Family Feud really quickly because two things made my fucking night, which was Adele's. I don't know if it's accurate to Adele whatsoever, but Amy Bryan's British cackle was amazing. The no, that's not what it sounds like at all. But what am I?
It sounded like
you know what I'm talking about.
It sounded like an impression of Sharon Osbourne, like Amy Poehler, Sharon Osbourne.
Yep. Oh, that's good.
Which again, I don't think is how Adele sounds, but I like that that's where they went with it. Again, I don't know for sure.
And Taron Killam's impression of Russell Crowe singing.
That one actually was funny.
That was fantastic.
The Adele thing, I don't.
As someone who had to sit through Les Miserables in theaters, oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
Me and my girlfriend were the only two people in the theater, including the group of people we were with, who were not crying at the end. We were just looking around, wondering what was going on.
I actually went to see that with somebody, and they were so high, and they just kept looking at me, freaked out, and they had no idea what was going on in the movie, and it was... I didn't know how to explain it because I had no idea.
Did they get freaked out? I know everyone makes fun of the super close-ups in that movie, but the only time they really got to me was, spoiler alert, Anne Hathaway and Hugh Jackman both die, and they both have, like, the most ugly death scenes, where, like, their makeup is all... I guess on purpose, like, they're just made up to look like old, dying people, and they look disgusting, and the camera is right in their fucking face. And they were the size of, like, 3 buildings on a wall. 3 stories on a wall. It was great.
Yeah, that movie was awful, I think.
Actually, my girlfriend was upset that they didn't make a conscious uncoupling joke on the show tonight. Probably too soon.
Too soon.
Yep.
She says, I don't think he was the instigator of that.
Yeah. He did marry somebody who was running a blog called Goop. He kind of knew what he was getting into.
No, because they were married. She started that after they got married.
You think Gwyneth Paltrow got weird after they started?
I think she just like shoved a stick right up her ass after they got married.
It's weird because I find her so kind of charming and relatable in Iron Man movies, but that's it. That's the only place where I find her interesting.
Charming.
Yeah. And human.
Yeah.
I'm always astounded at some of the stuff that comes out of her mouth. Because I don't know, to look at her, she looks like she'd be quite sweet, but then she opens her mouth and you're just like, what a nightmare. Right?
I've got fingers crossed for him. Good luck, Chris Martin.
I know, he's cute.
He's adorable.
Isn't he? He's got that little accent.
He got goodwill from everybody forever for that extras cameo.
Yes, I was about to say, I loved him since I saw him do extras.
When he's making pork chops.
And he's just like, he doesn't even know what charity he's promoting, but he has to promote a lot of charities.
Yeah.
Shall we talk about points?
Sure.
Points!
All right, what do we think for Andrew Garfield, who was drafted in the host draft by SAD?
I'm going to say mid-tier low.
Yeah, I don't think he got very many points, to be honest.
I think the
will be shocked.
Really?
60 points.
Oh, not terrible. Not one of the lowest.
Higher than mid to low, which is what you guys were saying.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. I was thinking, especially when
what's the lowest? What's the lowest so far that a host has
for
done?
A host? That's hard to answer because I
feel like
for
that
the most
might be
part,
the lowest.
We've only really been keeping track when a host was drafted. Yeah. I feel like somebody was in the high 40s, low 50s.
Yeah, you're right.
Maybe Louis C.K.?
No, he was in all of them, wasn't he?
No, but he was only doing sketch appearances, which is what killed him, because it's only 2 points per sketch appearance.
He didn't do free taped and did sing. We had that one little dance, but that was
even compared to Andrew Garfield got points for appearing with a former host, his girlfriend. He open mouth kissed. He did a few things. He said, "I'm a pussy."
Did he get to have multiple points for the open mouth kissing since he did it with 2 people, or is it just once per sketch?
That's a good question to ask Russell. I only counted it once, but I did count it. I did count twice for appearing alongside former SNL host. Because I figured
it should count twice.
Yeah, because I figured if A.D. Bryant gets points for appearing alongside Emma Stone in the monologue, and then Taran Killam gets them for...
Why did Amy Bryant get points?
Because she appeared in the monologue, but also alongside a former host, Emma Stone. That's points if you appear alongside a former host in a sketch.
Gotcha.
Actually, I don't know. In retrospect, I might have to add points for Jay Farrow, because I don't know if I counted him in the Spider-Man thing. But he'd be an NPC, so it probably wouldn't add much. Anywho.
Hey, who wants a point shocker from SNL Draft of Past? 1 week, the Miley Cyrus week, the highest point getter was Vanessa Bayer with 92 points.
That shows how much the season has changed.
That's 92 points for Vanessa Bayer.
Let's jump ahead a bit. Guess how many points she has this week?
Ooh.
5.
12.
5.
15.
Oh, I was close. I was close to going over. Price is Right rules.
I believe she got 10 for the Bajancy appearance, because it's pre-tape, and then she got 5 for being the first cast member hugged by the host.
Hugged by the host, yeah. Wow.
Yep. So, but theoretically, she didn't even have to be there tonight, because she was only in a pre-tape thing.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought we only got points if the host hugs a cast member first.
First cast member host hugged, not just the first person.
I went by the wording. The wording was the first cast member hugged versus
the
I think that's why we've always counted it.
The host gets 2 points if they hugged a musical guest first, which is what Andrew Garfield did. But the host gets 10 points if they hugged a cast member first.
He didn't hug... He hugged Emma Stone first, though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
Maybe
he
I
didn't.
missed that.
Yeah, he didn't hug Chris Martin first.
Okay, so maybe Andrew Garfield just got dropped down to... Oh, well, that would only
I mean, he
penalize him
hugged
by
Chris
2
Martin
points.
second.
It was. You're right. It was Emma, Chris, and then Vanessa.
Okay. Well, then Andrew Garfield's down to 58. Whatever.
Oh.
What a
we'll
loser.
see which one's.
Emma Stone, who was drafted by Matt, gets 22 points for her cameos.
Nice. Oh, that's gonna help Matt.
Wait, so he had Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone?
No.
Sad had Andrew Garfield.
Garfield.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Now, for the cast, who's in first?
Taran, off the top of my head, since it usually is. He seemed to be around a lot.
That is correct, 72 points.
I don't know why I'm cheering. I fist pumped. I don't have him.
I do! Woo! And then
Oh,
Keenan, 60 points.
Boo.
Really? I felt it was really light on Keenan tonight.
Yeah, me too. I should double check how we got that many. Remind me to do that after I run through the rest of the cast. But Bobby Moynihan, 55 points.
That doesn't surprise me.
Jay Farrow, 55 points. Kate McKinnon, 45 points.
Mm-hmm.
A.D. Bryant, 40 points. Mm-hmm. Nassim Pedrad, not in last place,
Really?
20 points. Cecily Strong, tied with Nassim Pedrad, 20 points. Vanessa Bayer, 15 points.
That's not good for me.
Checking
I thought Cecily would have done better, but yeah, she seemed to be in a lot, but didn't do much, and there weren't like a lot of pre-taped or stuff like that, so it doesn't surprise me.
Oh, you know what was a huge boost for Keenan? Cold Open and Live from New York.
Oh, there you go.
But so did a bunch of other people, including Farrow. Farrow wasn't in there a lot, but he got 35 points off the opening. And Moynihan, I think.
Yep.
And Sashir Zameda, who was the first of the featured players with 35 points. I think only for the opening.
Well,
Brooks was only in the, was it Brooks? Yeah, Brooks was only in the pre-taped, right? That was the only time he was there.
He had one line. I had to go back and double check that he had a line and
he
was
definitely
just
did,
sitting there.
No, yeah, he did.
Yeah, so he got 10 points. He's mid-featured players. Kyle Mooney had 15. Beck Bennett had 12. Brooks Wheelan, 10. Mike O'Brien, 10. Noah Wells, 10. John Milleyes had 5.
Oh, I'm doing terrible. I got 10, 20, 44, plus whatever Kate had. Oh, not good.
Sorry for the cough. I'm fighting a cold. Anyway, yep. I figure at this point I can't edit around them that much, so. But, yeah, anybody super happy or super upset about points?
No, very upset. Got like
I'm not
60
even
points.
counting points anymore.
You think you're out? You're just out?
Well, I think
I'm absolutely out. Like,
it's a 2-horse race.
Put a fork in me, I'm done.
I'm hoping to place in the top 3, though, at least.
No.
I'm in number 4 right now.
I'm getting third. You're not taking that third from me.
I could.
No!
Taryn did well.
Damn it.
80 did decently. Kyle Mooney is still on a relatively hot streak for a feature player.
I think we should have our little side bet, since we know we can't get first or even second at this point. The two of us should have like who can claim third, and we'll have our own little side prize for that. Because that's our only hope.
Oh my god, this is boring.
Shall we move on to news?
Sure.
All right. So, first of all, it's been announced that next week, Charlize Theron and musical guest, the Black Keys. Solid combination.
I like the Black Keys.
I love the Black Keys.
I know of them.
Woo, we got 3 different opinions on the Black Keys here. And then Andy Samberg and St. Vincent. Great news for Matt. He drafted Andy Samberg against my advice specifically, and I think a few other people. Because I didn't think anybody...
Yeah, I remember that. Everybody was like, he just left, he's not gonna
Well, yeah, same... Well, Kristen Wiig did that, but same with Clark Gregg, where I figured, well, he's on a new TV show. He's gonna have a huge schedule. He probably won't be able to make it in the first year. But then I didn't know that Brooklyn Nine-Nine would end in March, so there you go.
There you go, indeed. Yeah. No, that's
there it is.
Not just Matt, but for everyone. Because otherwise, it would have been a runaway for Russell if either Matt or myself didn't draft the hosts.
It will make it interesting. So we have vague plans that we're going to all hang out in person and watch the finale, correct?
Well, people who can. I mean, I don't expect Leah to fly down for that or fly up.
Well, Leah kind of said she would.
Should, but I don't expect her to. That's privacy.
But it'll be interesting, especially if I can bring a microphone and just get Russell and Matt's reactions.
Yes.
Basically, it'll be a sports game for them, and the rest of us will just be enjoying the comedy. But they will be upset.
This is why we need to have a side bet, Rob. Who can get third place?
Okay.
It means nothing to everyone else, but I think it'll be fun just for a little bit more competition.
Maybe.
It doesn't have to be for anything significant. For all I care, it could be for a quarter. I just like betting for small things.
Whoa, Mr. High Roller. Slow your roll.
So
that's a 12th of a streetcar ride. Sorry, go ahead,
I'm confused. So everybody who has been on this podcast is going to be in the top of the point getters, correct? Like, you guys are all kind of fighting it out for number 1.
Not really. Yeah. Russell and Matt are fighting it out for number 1. Mostly Russell.
But you guys are going to be the top 4, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Probably.
Where have you been?
So I'm like the only loser who's at like 10th place.
So you're like lucky to be on the podcast.
You're an excellent alternate perspective for us.
What's it like for one of you people to watch the show?
One of you lowly people down in the dirt.
Insanity.
You plebe.
I feel cheated. I feel like I am in the winner's circle, and I'm like the person who's getting water for everybody.
She's our point peasant.
Hey,
I'm like the towel girl. Or
if you come up for the finale, that can be your job. You can
absolutely not.
That'd be great. Sorry, can you just... Leah, can you fetch us a towel and just dab Matt's sweat on his brow right now as he's waiting for his cast members to make more points for him?
I would absolutely not do it. I would die before I would do that for Matt.
We would at least need a picture of that just for the Facebook group.
Yeah.
I woke up to a text this morning where he called me an ass heart. You ass heart.
What are you texting about that this is where the conversation went? Whereas you just wake up in the morning and you get a text saying, well, you're an assheart, meaning you're an asshole. Yeah. And then you're just like, yeah, this is normal. I'll mention it an hour into the podcast.
That's how we roll.
That's exactly, crazy stuff happens at 4 a.m. That's all I'm saying.
And then there are hopeful plans that for the cast and host draft in the summer, we'll be able to do it in person. A la
100%.
The sitcom, The League.
That's going to happen. Absolutely going to happen.
When are we doing draft picks?
We don't know yet.
Well, that's got to be like basically right before. Right?
It would have to be it would have to be in late August after we know the cast is mostly finalized.
Yeah.
We don't want another Tin Robinson.
that's the thing. Like, how close to it, especially once the rumors start for who's hosting, then it gets a little dicey with host picks.
Well, I think we had Tina Fey confirmed for us already by that time, so we just had to say nobody can draft Tina Fey.
Well, I think wasn't it like Gaga was rumored but not confirmed, and
she was rumored but not confirmed.
Yeah, so that's that weird period when we want to do it early enough that no one's really confirmed, or in many people as possible.
But will we know like who's going to get bumped up to?
That can happen so.
No, although actually, is that worth points if they get promoted? I know there was a mid-season promotion bonus, but if they get promoted between seasons?
No, I don't think so. I think you have to have them drafted.
Well, also because we're going to be changing cast members, so yeah.
Well, because Nassim's going to leave, right? Like, Nassim's out.
Especially if Mulaney gets picked up.
Yeah.
So...
you think she's out either way? She's been around for a few years of bad treatment.
I feel like, why would she stay? She's never... in it.
Yeah,
right?
But that's been true for 3 years now. That's been true for a while.
I guess I just don't...
I can see them just, I don't know, because they have such a huge cast, just saying, okay, you're borderline, let's just say no, we'll cut down the cast a little bit. I mean, had they been a smaller cast, maybe they would have stayed, but I can see people leaving just because it's, 17 people right now, if you include Jost?
Yeah.
So I know, I can see them cutting.
I don't know, maybe, I'm looking at the cast list right now.
I think Milheisner's gone, and I think Nassim's gone.
I think Milheiser's gone, I think there'll be one more from the featured player list, which will be just kind of a surprise, just like a whim of Lorne's. Like when he cut Michaela Watkins, and everyone was like, what are you doing?
I expect it, but I hope Milheiser doesn't go, because I really like him.
How can
just
you
in
really
general
like
as a
him?
person?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, because I have no impression of who he is from the show.
Did you guys get at Magnolia Bakery once or something?
No, that's your thing.
What about him do you like? What about him do you like?
Well, he did that behind the scenes in the makeup room video like 2 weeks ago, and I just found him entirely adorable from that.
Who do we think? I feel like there must be a repertory player who's going to leave, but I can't tell who. Besides Nassim, I mean, like.
Yeah, I could see anyone leaving, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they all stayed.
Do you think Keenan's running for the new Daryl Hammond?
God.
He's going to stick around forever?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Right? This is like a cash cow for him. He ain't walking away.
And I don't think anybody else is at that point. Of like again, it might be like a surprise firing, but I feel like most of the repertory cast have their place.
And I think they're pretty happy.
Well, what do you think about Vanessa Bayer?
I could see Vanessa leaving.
Yeah. I could, just because, like, I have no idea where it came from, but yeah, her stock has really fallen this season, it seems, amongst all the girls. But then again, honestly, if Update wasn't in there, I feel like Cecily is also really taking a tumble in the second half of the season.
Do you really?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we've been talking about it for weeks, where like she only gets 1 or 2 sketches a week.
I think that's because of Update.
But that's because of Update. Yeah.
If she wasn't doing Update, I think she would be.
I don't think that's true, because
she's still getting like starring parts in the sketches that she's in.
But it's not like she's writing Update, so I don't know why. Amy Poehler was everywhere while she was still doing Update.
But look at her just before Update and afterward. It's a stark difference in her appearances.
Yeah, I just think that might be unconnected. Because in the same way, Vanessa Bayer's stock has seemingly fallen out of nowhere.
Yeah,
but Bayer's playing secondary characters even when she is in a sketch, whereas Cecily's still getting...
And Cecily has a lot of that outside of the show push. Like, there's a lot of... She gets press, and she does, like...
Because she's still one of the new ones, yeah.
Still new, but she's like an up-and-coming star type of thing. I think she's, like, kind of their flagship in a lot of ways for outside of the show.
I think so, yeah.
So I don't see her going unless she decides.
I think she's like the lead female in a way where like Kate McKinnon is considered like the Bill Hader analog, where like
I can see that, yeah.
She clearly has like a long thing of sketch comedy ahead of her, whereas Cecily Strong is more like a leading woman, and I think maybe more so than like I feel like she could be the next Poehler in terms of like getting a sitcom or a movie after this or something.
Yep. I agree. I think she's the big face for the show when she was ready to leave. I think it'll be up to her.
I
really like the cast as it is now. So honestly, if no one left, other than Keenan, I would be perfectly happy with that.
I feel like, if anything, there might be... I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be surprised if like half of the featured players left.
Yeah, I really like all the featured players, though.
I do, but I could also see Brooks Brooks leaving. As much as he seems to love it there, I feel like he could be dissatisfied with how much time he's actually getting.
He looked really unhappy at the goodbyes.
Really?
You always say that.
Millheiser could be gone. I feel like Mike O'Brien might go back to being a writer, or see this as like as just a thing to... Like, his lack of screen time could just be a sign that it's time for him to move on. I don't know.
Although I have with O'Brien seen him more of a, from my perspective, anyway, maybe I'm looking for more of an increase in the last like month or two.
Let's flip it. I feel like Sashir, Beck Bennett, and Kyle Mooney, I would just put over. I feel like all three of them are guaranteed for next season.
I can't imagine what would happen if they said, Sashir's not coming back. That would not happen.
That's true. And I think
zero chance of that happening.
And between Beck Bennett and regular sketches, and I feel like the Good Neighbors sketches have really kind of hit big online, that those three are locked for next season.
The Good Neighbors, I think, I agree. Their Good Neighbors sketches keep both Beck and Kyle on the show for sure. And then everyone else is kind of up in the air for a game.
Yeah.
We really turned this into sports talk.
Have I been tricked into doing sports-like analysis? Is this what's happened to me?
Pretty much. Shall we talk about the 40th anniversary show scheduled for next year? February 15th. What do we want to see?
Oh my god, I can't, 3 hours.
The last time they did this was 25th anniversary, and I think they planned a 30th or a 35th, and it was cut for budget reasons. So I'm pretty sure that was 35th, because it was at around... I feel like Sandberg and Sudeikis and Hader were like the long-time people at that point, now that I remember. Anyway, so what do we want to see? Has everybody seen the 25th anniversary?
Oh, yeah, when I was a kid, when it aired originally.
I have the DVD. It's pretty great.
I have the DVD. I saw it live. Rob, that's a DVD.
Leah?
I haven't seen it at all, so there we go.
What would you like to see in this?
And I don't understand what's happening.
What's the format again?
Okay, so the 25th anniversary was basically...
Do we get points for it?
No. Well, maybe at the time we will, if people... So what happened was usually like a current or past sketch a cast member would introduce a series of clips alongside like a very famous host, like an Alec Baldwin or a Tom Hanks or John Goodman or something like that.
How does something like this get cut for budgetary reasons when they're just showing clips?
They're flying in a lot of people. Like the 25th anniversary, I believe they said they invited every past host in the history of the show to fill out the audience. Like, the audience is literally nobody except former cast members and hosts.
I did see that, because James Van Der Beek was in it, wasn't he? He was in the audience, right?
Maybe? That's not the celebrity that I was watching out for, even at the time.
I don't think James Van Der Beek would have been in the audience 15 years ago. That's 14
You
years
don't
ago.
think so?
What was that?
Dawson's Creek was about, right?
I guess it could have been.
Here's a marker for time. There was a segment where Jimmy Fallon and Jerry Seinfeld were introducing clips, and I believe Fallon said he was the new guy. I don't know if he meant he was just about to start, or if he was a season in, and Seinfeld was about to host next week's season premiere.
Yeah, it was 99. I guess Van Der Beek could have been there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God, Rob, you were like 9 years old when that came out?
Yep.
Adorable.
That's exactly it. So, yeah, the format was they would show, in segments that covered 5 years at a time, they would show best of highlight reels. Like 30 seconds per sketch, or sometimes little montages faster than that. There was tributes to deceased cast members. There was a new TV Funhouse where it was Lorne singing about throwing this anniversary and where he was going to seat the celebrities next to each other. And a few famous characters were revived. I think there was definitely Bill Murray's Lounge Singer with Paul Schaefer on piano.
Yep.
Anyway, so this time I feel like they might have
Paul Schaefer?
Yeah. He used to be the music
guy.
David Letterman's
I was thinking Paul Scheer.
In 2000, it was a
that was about to mind boggle me. Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna have to move up to 10 years at a time, or they're really gonna have to fit in a lot of highlight reels to go 5 years at a time.
Or should they just completely change it up and do something completely different?
Here's what I could see. I could see a 70s segment, which is 5 years, an 80s segment, a 90s segment, a 2000s segment, and then 2010 to 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's kind of similar to them when they did the best of the 2000s, like 2010 special.
But without those talking heads.
Yeah. See, I like the talking heads. I was disappointed when they showed the digital shorts special and they didn't have talking heads around it.
Well, NBC promised Andy Samberg was hosting.
Yeah.
That was part and parcel with the announcement that he was hosting the finale was, and he's also hosting a best of short special that's airing in 2 days. And then they definitely, their Twitter feed, after it had already aired on the East Coast without any host segments, they said, hey, West Coast, coming up is a best of special hosted by Andy Samberg. And I think the top reply was, lies!
Yeah, that was weird. I was disappointed because I like the wraparound talking heads.
He hosted a similar segment years ago, so I thought it was just going to be an update of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good special.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see them, I don't know, maybe something like, the best, the decade anniversary or the decade special, they did interstitials with the little snippets of musical acts from each year, which I thought was a nice little touch just as a wraparound for the commercials.
I feel like this is going to be more based on the 25th anniversary format.
Yeah, that's true. I can see that.
Yeah. Where it was just, so celebrities and cast members past and present would just throw to highlight reels and various other things.
That'll be good.
I'm going to have to watch that, because...
It'll be good, but I wouldn't mind if they did something completely different, too, somehow. I don't know.
The 25th anniversary special is delightful, and it really gives, it's kind of where I get this idea in my mind of when I see something, I'm like, I feel like that's 5 seconds or 10 seconds from that is going to show up in the highlight reel in the
Yeah, this is like the was it the Christmas episode this year with Cecily and Jimmy singing that song?
Oh yeah, that'll show up.
That's kind of thing. That's going to be in a special. This is going to be in the Christmas specials every year from now on. Kind of thing.
The 5 second, literally again, the 5 seconds of Chris Martin trying to kiss Andrew Garfield. I feel like that'll be in a quick cut montage of stuff. Just like, here are the highlights from the last 5 years. Oh my god, look at what these crazy celebrities did for us. Was that a yawn or was that a whoa?
That was a yawn.
Oh, okay, fine. We'll move on. Maya Rudolph, her variety show is off the shelf and finally has an air date of May 19th.
I love Maya Rudolph. I like Maya Rudolph a lot, but variety special is like poison.
I think it's one of the only things...
I think me and Brian are of the same mind with the whole variety.
Really? Nobody's even hyped up a little bit for this? I feel like Maya Rudolph is really, really well suited for a variety show.
I agree, and I will absolutely give it a shot, and I will watch it for sure. But I think of like the Simpsons variety special when that spin-off showcase they did it years ago. That's the kind of thing I'm expecting. Where it's just cheesy, obvious
the format's more or less dead.
Is this going to be like a regular thing or a one-off?
When they announced it, it was meant to be a special that would serve as a backdoor pilot for a regular series. I do not expect it to become a regular series. Maybe an occasional special. But remember, I think NBC did the exact same thing 5 years ago with Rosie O'Donnell.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're right.
Where they did one special. I think it might have been around the writer's strike, actually. And then and then it didn't go anywhere.
Remember the writer's strike when all those weird side projects had to be done? We're like, well, we don't have anything else, so let's do a winter season of Big Brother instead of a summer one.
Yep. Let's have variety specials. Let's show Dexter on CBS.
Yes.
And let's shoot a Dr. Horrible. That was the writer's strike encapsulated.
That's right.
Yep.
And let's shorten every season of a TV show so everyone's DVDs are weird.
Yeah, I just remember a lot of upset people over Dexter was being shown on CBS after like one season. I think actually I don't know if it's related to the writer's strike. I remember Fox they showed like season 1 or 2 of It's Always Sunny. Mm-hmm. And NBC was suggesting they were going to show the BBC version of The Office to replace the American version.
That would have been interesting. Especially with the pilot.
People would have been so confused.
Yeah. Who are these ugly people on my TV, and why do they also talk
to the
camera
in
office
strange?
Yeah. I'm trying to look up who is guest starring on this Maya Rudolph show.
There was a whole bunch of SNLers on there.
Sandberg, Armisen, I'm pretty sure. I want to say Kristen Bell.
That sounds right.
2 seconds.
But I like the people involved with this, so I'm excited for them to do something together, but I can't get the stigma of what a variety show is out of my head.
Yeah.
Well, I have, in my mind, do you listen to the Pod F Tomcast?
Of course.
Okay, so in my mind, I'm hoping it's and especially because he plays audio clips from sketches of his variety show that he does in Los Angeles on stage.
Yep.
And Maya Rudolph's been in 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hoping for. So I'm hoping for
I hear variety special, and it just goes to a bad place.
So, Up All Night co-star,
Christina Applegate?
Oh no, sorry, I just misread this story. No Up All Night co-stars. I'm wrong, I'm sorry. Kristen Bell is in it, Andy Samberg, Fred Armisen, Craig Robinson, Sean Hayes. That'll be awkward, because I'm pretty sure it was filmed during his sitcom.
Well, there's an Up All Night cast member. He was on Up All Night.
I guess he was. Yeah, I think it was filmed when his Sean Saves the World sitcom was still alive. And then Chris Parnell. And Janelle Monáe will be the musical guest. And Raphael Sadiq will be band leader. I don't know if that's a famous person or not.
He's a singer. I dig his music.
You dig it?
I dig it.
You can groove it.
Yeah.
Quite worthily.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I'm hopeful. Fingers crossed for it, but again, we'll see.
I'll read the review before I make any final.
I feel like we'll probably talk about it in some length on.
She get bonus points for it. We'll do our own side pool for it.
Actually, when is it? Hold on. Was it you, Leah, who asked me when the finale was for SNL? What date did I tell you?
17th.
You told me the 17th, but I thought it was the 24th.
I don't know if we'll be able to cover it. No, because it's two weekends from now.
Yes, the 17th.
So I don't know if we'll be able to cover the Maya Rudolph special in the Sandberg finale episode. Oh well. Guys, you've been really energetic about this news segment. And
I was coughing.
Oh, news segment.
I'm sure everyone is super excited about the Maya Rudolph thing.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful for it. Let's put it that way.
All right, let's move on. So since the last episode, we covered Stephen Colbert, but now Craig Ferguson's moving on, and the connection is Norm Macdonald is really campaigning to replace him on Twitter.
That's weird.
I would not watch that.
I wouldn't watch it either.
I really liked his, what was the name of his sports show on Comedy Central?
Oh.
When they were doing 2 sports shows at once. One was The Onion and one was Norm Macdonald.
Me, right? You're kind of being theoretical.
This was the closest I've ever gone to following sports, so...
I did watch The Onion's sports show, The Onion Sport Network show. That was good. But no, Norm Macdonald, I have zero interest in that.
It might have actually literally been called Sports Show with Norm Macdonald.
No.
You don't like Norm Macdonald in general, or you don't think that's a good fit for a late show?
I don't love him, and I just honestly don't care for him.
I feel like there was a time and a place for Norm Macdonald, and it's definitely not now.
After the whole
he
thing
just shouldn't exist anymore.
No, after the whole thing with Letterman and who's replacing him, then it was announced as Colbert. I had my issues with Colbert as a choice for different reasons entirely. But at this point, when it was this one, it goes another one. I go, no, not another white male stand-up. No.
Well, the other people up in contention include Aisha Tyler and Amy Schumer.
Perfect choices.
I could see Aisha Tyler going for it. I think Amy Schumer's probably happier with the sketch show she has.
I honestly, I normally don't care. Oh, I don't care if it's on the right. I'm not, because I don't care for if minorities or women get it. But the whole argument that let's the women do it. But really, they've just taken a huge turnaround in basically all of the shows. You got Seth replacing Jimmy replacing Jay, David stepping down. Now Stephen Colbert is taking over. There's been so many new hosts, new shows, and they've all been basically white male stand-ups or sketch performers.
Especially since we're basically putting somebody in a position. The dream is for 20 years.
Exactly, and the fact that it's the Late Late Show, that where Craig Ferguson's already been doing weird, different things as it is. Please, this is your perfect opportunity to do something completely off center from everything else.
Like, theoretically, the idea is that in 2034, it will still be The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon, Late Night with Seth Meyers, The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and maybe, I don't know, who else was... Joel McHale is apparently up for it if Community gets canceled.
I love Joel. I really... Something different.
He killed, by the way, on the White House Correspondents' Dinner last night.
Yeah.
According to Deadline. Did you see that?
Pardon?
Deadline said he bombed.
Yeah, Deadline had a weird take on it. They thought, I guess they might have been there, but I feel like it always goes badly in the room, but it really came off well online.
People like Billy Eichner were saying, no, people laughing at jokes, is that bombing? Because that's what happened. Everyone was really liking it.
Yeah, Deadline's weird. They take a stance and they just go 150% on it, even if it's like they also said he went blue in the beginning because of I think he said something about Fox News trying to screw black people, and it's like, oh wow, that's blue, and it's like, I don't think you know the definition of blue.
No. But, no, I like Joel. I think he'd be good hosting a show like that, but honestly, at this point, there's been so many of these changeovers in the last, 6 months, a year. We really need just something different. Please, for the love of God.
Leah, your thoughts as a non-white woman?
Please, speak for all non-white men.
I don't have strong... I guess because I feel like they're all the same. I just don't have that strong a feeling.
Yeah, you brought up the Patrick Stewart and McKellen interview a few times, right?
I mean,
I had no idea.
I really enjoy Ferguson because he is so kind of offbeat and strange.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald, I don't find him interesting. I don't think that's... like I said, I feel like the comedy that they did, we were talking about this on Facebook, where it's like Lovitz and Spade and that whole generation, their comedy hasn't progressed since then, and it doesn't really...
It hasn't adapted in an alternative comedy world.
Yeah, and it doesn't fit today. And so, the last time I saw Norm Macdonald, he was reading a newspaper on one of the... as his stand-up routine. He was just reading a newspaper.
I thought you saw him on a bench.
No. As his comedy routine. He just sat there reading a newspaper. And I just don't
Actually, that's a decent point to bring up, that even if it was Aisha Tyler, and I think Amy Schumer, Joel McHale, any of these people who... I think they would all come up with a much more formulaic, regular late-night show than Craig Ferguson did. So, and
that's what I think. All the people that you listed, I don't think it matters their sex or their, who they are. They're all the same. They're going to do the exact same show that, even if it's a woman, it's going to be the exact same show that Fallon's doing. They're not interesting choices. Nobody that you named is an interesting choice.
I remember years ago before Fallon was announced, but I think when he was rumored, Splitsider came up with an article of who we'd like to see, and I remember them mentioning Dimitri Martin.
I'd love that.
I think John Hodgman.
I would love Dimitri Martin. Mike Birbiglia, I would actually like him. I think he would
they all have a distinct, slightly off sensibility that would really differentiate them.
Mm-hmm.
You see, who was it that was talking? Who was pitching? Oh, Mark Maron. I saw it was talking about how he'd want to do it, but he wouldn't want to do a typical late night show where it's introduce a celebrity, have a band, do sketches. He'd want to do we were talking about, where it's just a sit down, in depth conversation where they just sit with.
I don't know if that would work for late night.
Well, Brian, was this on the podcast, or was this something I brought up after, where the generations of late night hosts have become... They've gone from stand-ups and broadcasters, which is the generation that is just retired or is retiring.
Yeah.
And now we have sketch performers in Fallon, Myers, Colbert. Mm-hmm. And then the next generation seems to be podcasters with weird... And they really bring a different... they each have a unique sensibility and or format. Scott Aukerman, Comedy Bang Bang on IFC is different than... The Nerdist or At Midnight with Chris Hardwick,
WTF.
It's different than if Mark Maron did a show, it'd probably be different. And it's different than Pete Holmes' show over after Conan.
I agree. I would like was saying, I would like to see something just completely different from every other show. That was my big worry for Colbert, is it's going to be like every other show. But even just the slightest change of it not being a white male stand-up would be a welcome change and surprise for me. But yeah, completely different would be.
I do think Leah's on something that, in terms of just making a show that I'd want to watch, just coming up with somebody with a different sensibility that wouldn't come up with the same formula of a show. Yeah,
I agree. Something like something like Paul Tompkins would be fantastic, or I don't know, like Andy Daly would be a weird choice and be great. But when before they announced Ferguson, they did that great. It was like almost like a tournament where they had different hosts, each doing like a week.
And Aisha Tyler and Michael Ian Black, who are both on the list right now, were part of those tryouts.
I remember that's where I first saw Michael Ian Black, and I instantly fell in love with him. This guy is fucking genius. He's amazing. As Damien Fahey was one of like the finalists for it too, and I liked him a lot on there too. It was really torn between. I think those were like 3 of the 4 or the final 3. And ironically, of the 3, Ferguson was my least favorite. I still liked him, but it was like I wanted the other 2 more. I was like, I really like these 2. Damien and Michael Ian Black are great. And then Ferguson got it.
It'd be cool if they did that again. I think in the age of online social media, they're not going to try that because there would just be too much negativity. There'd be too much attention given to it, whereas before it was just something that was happening at 12:30, and I think word spread.
I think that would be good attention. If people are like talking about it a lot on Twitter and Facebook, and there'd be like hashtags, like if you tweet your support for Michael Ian Black, hashtag whatever.
But it'd be a difference between people treating it as a tryout, but also kind of as a guest host versus. In kind of today's age, it would be much more of a which of these celebrities is going to lose the job and completely fail and be terrible and have online laugh at them forever.
You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that as well, because no matter who you pick, there's going to be so many people who are like, no, they should have never been.
And I'm not going to watch the new show. I'm not going to watch the winner. Yeah, versus. We'd all kind of remember for years if, they did a tournament and Aisha Tyler lost versus I don't think many people can name the contenders from the original thing that Ferguson won.
Yeah. I know. For me, again, because it's a 12:30 CBS show, I like to see them do something different, and seeing something like that, necessarily that's that format, but something like that just would be, again, a nice little difference. Especially since it doesn't seem like they have any immediate plans to name anyone yet. I think they're going to wait a while before they do.
Yeah, Colbert or Letterman's replacement seemed to be we really got to figure this out really quick. But Ferguson's replacement, they have until Colbert, because I don't think they're going to go for somebody who's currently hosting a show, which is clearly they wanted to get Colbert signed quickly so that they could put in plans to end the rapport.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Get his crew moved.
Anything else to talk about?
What else was there? Oh, I think I mentioned to you before Leah came on the Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Joe Biden video from the Correspondents' dinner.
Oh, I got to check that out. Yeah.
It was it had both of them. Obviously, she was playing Selena Meyer, and it was the 2 of them talking about, "Hey, are you going to this correspondent?" Or she called it a Snorrespondence dinner. He's like, no, and so they make plans. The 2 of them, they picked her up in a yellow hot rod car, has Veep on it, and they break into the White House. There's a hidey key under a potted plant. This is this really tiny potted plant. They break in the White House and get into the kitchen, and Michelle Obama walks in on them eating ice cream. And she's like, well, have you learned nothing from what I've been teaching you? And then they find Nancy Pelosi's getting a tattoo, as they just had to go join her and get their own tattoos. It's fantastic.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, it was really good. Well done.
I'm part incredibly happy and part incredibly upset with how much good television is on very late on Sundays, because I can't get access to it until Tuesday because I have to work and then I have stuff on Monday evening. So, but Veep, John Oliver, Silicon Valley, tonight Louis is coming back.
It's an embarrassment of riches for us in TV land.
Yes. Leah, anything on your mind?
Kenan has a new movie coming out.
Okay. Do you know the release date?
We came together.
Kenan's in that?
Yeah.
Oh, I know Amy Poehler and Hader's in that, and we were potentially going to talk about it.
What are they in that?
You know, the main scenes of the trailer. Was Kenan even in the trailer?
Yeah.
For her, it's a Kenan Thompson movie. For us, it's the people actually on the poster. You know you're not getting points for it, right? You don't get points for this.
I don't?
No.
That's
no points
bullshit.
for movies.
You can talk about that with Russell. Maybe next year.
Points.
I feel like this is the first movie he's done in like 10 years. I should get points for it.
If your cast member gets named and announces being in a movie during the season, you get points for it.
Wasn't Fat Albert enough of a gift for the next 10 years?
That is the gift that keeps on giving.
Mm-hmm. All right. So I want to thank everybody for being here, especially because it was mildly last minute of trying to get the recording together. But thank you, Brian. Where can people find you?
Twitter at CoconutPhone77.
And Leah, thank you so much for being here. Where can people
find you? You are so welcome, Rob. I'm glad I called you Rob because for a second I thought I called you Matt.
Very aggressive.
Which I do sometimes.
Do you still have a Twitter name, or are you still not willing to give that out on air?
I think I gave it last time.
Yeah, but we really had to fight it out of you.
It's at Leah Sueko.
There you go. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.